Good morning, I'm Nikki Stanzione.
And I'm Kristen Van Dyke.
And this is New Mexico Style. Welcome to a brand new week. May begins tomorrow. We wrap up April today. Can you believe that?
It is hard to believe. This year's going by so fast.
I know. We're like headed to the halfway point almost of the year. How did that happen?
Really? Yeah, we are, aren't we?
Isn't that weird?
It's gone by super fast.
Everything goes by fast, including 30-hour whirlwind trips to Los Angeles over the weekend.
How was your trip? I saw your picture sneaking on the beach.
I had such a good time. I went to Venice Beach yesterday. It was a blast, of course. It was actually my best friend's birthday on Saturday night, but what he did was he didn't want it to be like a self-indulgent birthday party thing. He basically decided to make it a fundraiser, so it was called the 2012 Black and Gold Gala in support of Broadway Cares Equity Fights AIDS. And a lot of stars came out. They had the red carpet. They had celebrity performances from Broadway stars. Some of the actors from Glee. I don't know if you know who Coach Beast is. Do you remember we've talked about her?
We have.
Her name is Dot in real life. She is the kindest, most wonderful woman. I sat and talked to her and I was like, oh my God, I'm talking to
I bet
Coach
you were like in
Beast.
heaven.
I was.
You had to be in heaven because I know how much you love Glee and Broadway. How fun.
And she said, she said to me, don't miss Glee this week. It's going to be amazing. So that from her mouth, I know it's going to be a good one. And here's something else. You ever watch The Voice?
Yes.
Okay, so last season you may remember Frenchie Davis. She was a heavy woman. She had the
I do remember her.
Crazy set of lungs. The woman can sing. She used to be on Idol, as a matter of fact. Then she was on Broadway doing Rent. Anyway, she's really good friends with my friend. She came and she sang Home from the Wiz and I Am Changing from Dreamgirls. And she like took the house down. I don't know if that's the right expression. She didn't really take the house down, but she got a standing ovation. It was such a treat to watch Broadway stars performing live in this venue. That was my friend's birthday.
And it all went to a good cause, to a charity?
Yes, and they had a silent auction. It all went to Broadway Cares and Equity Fights AIDS. So a great charity. You should really look it up and see if you could ever do anything to contribute. It's a really wonderful charity, and to be able to see my best friend, it was great. And I got to spend time with a friend of mine who I met almost 20 years ago, and it was just such a good weekend, but so fast. And then of course my flight was delayed last night. Shocker. So.
I was thinking that. I was like,
you knew I couldn't.
Nikki's not going to get back until like almost tomorrow morning.
Exactly.
Probably, and that's probably what happened.
That's exactly what happened. But here I am, alive and well. And you had a little spill this weekend on the mountain bike again.
I did, again.
Kristen.
I don't really like talking about this. It's getting just to be downright embarrassing. I cannot control myself on a bike.
Buy this girl
arm pads. Always on the left elbow, now left knee. I will not be wearing a skirt or a dress anytime soon, to say the least.
Well, maybe riding bikes and flying in airplanes weren't the best idea, but walking certainly was a good idea, because the Making Strides Against Breast Cancer Walk was held here in Albuquerque yesterday, and organizers say they raised, this is great, more than $400,000.
That's right. News 13's Jessica Garate and Diane Anderson hosted the 5-mile walk along the Rio Grande. Breast cancer survivors who participated say they felt united by their experience.
It's a joy to be here with a friend, and even when I was sick, she was there and would always give me a word of encouragement, not knowing that later on she would have breast cancer. So I appreciate her as a dear friend.
And Face of Fox Elias Gallegos and meteorologist John Smith were also on hand for the walk, so it's nice to see so many people came out. If we could have, we would have been there as well, and we're so glad to know they raised the money and that people came out and did this. I mean, it's obviously a bonding experience for people who have gone through one of the toughest things in their life.
Oh, it is. You know, we were just talking to the one of the year, the survivor of the year, and she was talking about how important it was to her to have other people who've gone through the same thing and to talk to them. And of course, $400,000 raised. So, you know, it's good, all good stuff.
Really good stuff. And let's keep that fight going as well. And we're glad that we can kind of talk about these things on the show and bring awareness to topics that are so important to support. So thanks to everyone who did. And now let's check in with KRQE News 13 anchor Elizabeth Alvarez with this morning's headlines. Hi, Elizabeth.
Hey, good morning, ladies. Happy Monday.
Happy Monday.
Hope you guys had a good weekend. Happy Monday to you at home as well. Top of your morning news headlines this Monday morning. The owner of a popular steakhouse and saloon here in Albuquerque is out of jail this morning. Police say he was busted for trying to sell alcohol to a minor.
You'll now return to the location of the alleged incident. You'll not possess or consume any alcohol or illegal drugs.
Seen 50-year-old Louis Katsoros before. He was recently on a TV episode of the Food Network. Well, Katsoro was arrested on Friday. Police say he sold a 6-pack of beer to an undercover agent who was posing as a minor at the Monte Carlo Steakhouse and packaged liquor on Central. Katsoro appeared before a judge over the weekend, as you just saw, who set his bond at $2,500. The conditions of his release could make it a problem for him to get back to work.
You'll now return to the location of the alleged incident. You'll not possess or consume any alcohol or illegal drugs.
And Kat Saros is out of jail this morning. Questions continue this morning about what some say is a racy picture of a Bernalillo County commissioner with some scantily clad women in the Philippines. Now some people, including the governor, want Michael Weiner to resign. But Weiner says not so fast. The entire controversy surrounds this picture here that Weiner took while on vacation in the Philippines. Yesterday, he made his first appearance before a community picnic sponsored by the county. He made no mention of the controversy. When we asked him about the situation, Weiner read us a prepared statement. And he also told us he refused to drop out of the upcoming June primary, despite his resolve to stay on the commission and in the race. Top politicians continue to call on Weiner to resign. Those include fellow Republicans Governor Susana Martinez and Albuquerque Mayor R.J. Berry. Here's the statement Weiner read to us.
As you may know, there's been a number of stories and something of a lynch mob developing. Despite this, not only will I continue to do my job that I was elected to by my constituents, I will remain a candidate for County Commission in District 4.
Although Weiner will not resign from the county commission, he said he would step down from his position as vice chair. The sentencing hearing for Michael Astorga continues this morning. Over the weekend, there was a pancake breakfast for the victim Astorga is accused of killing. The parents of Sheriff's Deputy James McCrain Jr. were raising money in hopes of trying to prevent a similar tragedy from ever happening again. Here's News 13's Crystal Gutierrez with the story.
Here you go. For 6 years, the death of Deputy James McCrain Jr. has had people pouring into fundraisers like this to make sure another officer does not die in the line of duty. But this year's event is different.
They say we're praying for you, that you want good results in Santa Fe.
Monday morning, Jim McCrain, the slain deputy's father, will head back up to Santa Fe for another grueling day in court. Testimony in the sentencing hearing for Michael Astorga, the man who killed his son, began Friday. That's when the McCrain family had to relive the day their son was shot and left in a pool of blood.
His eyes were a quarter open, but he wasn't, there was no movement.
They also listened to claims Astorga is an innocent man, as Astorga and his attorney tried to fight off a possible death sentence. The defense says Astorga nor his pickup truck were at the scene in Tijeras in 2006, but last year a jury found Astorga guilty, saying he killed McCrain at a traffic stop. That's what sparked years of fundraising.
We don't want any other family to have to go through what we have gone through.
Money raised funds the Officer Street Survival Fund. More than 2,000 New Mexico officers have gone through the intense 2-day training, a death that shook up the law enforcement community and left a family grieving. But McCrain says his son did not die in vain. It's a death that will keep other officers alive through this program, named after the slain deputy.
Since our son's death, since his shooting in 2006, we have not had an officer shot in the line of duty doing a routine road stop or going up to a house.
Crystal Gutierrez, KRQE News 13.
Astorga, by the way, faces a minimum sentence of life in prison for the deputy's death. We will bring you the very latest developments on his sentencing trial on KRQE News 13 beginning at noon. The man who police say shot at a speed van in Santa Fe is set to be in court this afternoon. Officers arrested Scott Powell on Friday after a wild police chase. They say a few weeks ago, Powell was wearing a nightshirt. Look at this, when he got out of his car and apparently started shooting at the van. This is the video of it. He's now in jail, facing a number of charges related to both the shooting and the chase. Obviously not very happy there. All right, everybody's looking to save money, and one of the best places to start, get this, is in your home. Our News 13's David Romero went along with some energy experts to find out what you can do to save a few bucks.
Your home is your biggest investment, and it also takes a lot to keep it running comfortably. If you're trying to save some money in the process, it's sometimes the littlest things that can go a long way to save a buck.
It's just the common sense things of what needs to be on. And then if something does have to be on, say a light, you would use a compact fluorescent that uses 75% less electricity than an incandescent.
We had energy experts from P&M and an energy company take a walk through an Albuquerque home recently. They showed us things that many people wouldn't think of checking, like recessed lighting.
There are a couple fairly easy ways to fix these. We have fixtures now that you can actually screw in, and it makes it an airtight fixture.
P&M says the biggest culprit for higher energy bills is an air conditioner or heater that works harder to keep your home at a comfortable temperature.
If you've got an accessible attic, like we do here in this house, it's pretty easy to go up into the attic and see if you have enough insulation. You know, unfortunately, we do have a lot of flat roof homes here in New Mexico. There's not a lot you can do about that. If your house is on a crawl space, big time infiltration in your house is probably leaking quite a bit.
Even a missing light switch cover or outlet cover can let air out of a room you're paying to keep cool or heat.
Now, when I see something like this, the wall furnaces, they're fine. We do worry a little bit about, you know, when we see a gas-fired combustion appliance in the house. We just want to do a basic safety check, make sure there's no opportunity for backdrafting or carbon monoxide.
Programmable thermostats are a great way to go. You can set those up so that either the cooling won't come on when you're not at home, or the heating will set back at night when you're in bed, or set back to a lower temperature during the day.
P&M also says there are things in your home that could save money and make money. Getting rid of an old refrigerator can get you $50 from P&M, but it all goes back to common sense. Keep an eye on your bill and watch your spending. Oh yeah, don't forget to turn out the lights. David Romero, KRQE News 13.
P&M tells us they've turned this into a contest for customers. Whoever can cut down on their energy bill the most compared to this time last year could win a $300 prize going toward their next bill. Contact P&M for more information. All right, I want you to take a look at this pretty cool video. It's a time-lapse video of the construction on the new One World Trade Center in New York. Do we have it? There it is. It's set to officially be known as the tallest building in New York today. It's been 10.5 years since the September 11th attacks destroyed the original World Trade Center buildings. The skyscraper is being built at a pace of about 1 floor per week. It should be open late next year. Pretty amazing. That does it for your Monday morning headlines. Nikki, Kristen, I'm going to send it back to you. Wasn't that video awesome?
They can hear me. It's amazing because, you know, obviously I grew up with that skyline, and when the whole skyline changed, it changed so much of the spirit of the city. And so to see a new skyline coming across the area is going to be incredible.
And I kind of like the idea. It's like united, you know, instead of having two, it's one. I
like that idea too. And it's going to be the tallest building. You know, it's going to be quite the tourist attraction for sure.
I know it.
Yeah. Another attraction is reality TV, of course, but Lamar Odom and Khloe Kardashian have decided to pull the plug on their spin-off show, Khloe and Lamar. Sources tell TMZ the show's second season will be its last because Lamar really wants to focus on reviving his clearly fizzling NBA career.
Right. We're told Lamar is determined to make a comeback, and he feels he should only focus on one project, his basketball. Lamar will be living in LA full-time, and he's hired trainers already to help him get back in his game.
Good for him, but you don't have to miss Khloe and Lamar too much. They will still make occasional appearances on the reality mothership, Keeping Up with the Kardashians. And as we reported last week, Keeping Up with the Kardashians is now signed into a $40 million contract. I think it's another 3 years guaranteed. So
it's not going anywhere, huh?
Not going anywhere. So for those of you who don't like it, you're stuck with it. Just change the channel. I happen to like it. Embarrassingly, I do.
All right. Well, 1 year ago, one of the world's most famous couples tied the knot in a grand wedding. And now the Duke and Duchess of Cambridge are celebrating their 1 year anniversary in private. Can you believe it?
Now, I can't believe it's been a year. I remember us sitting here in our royal outfits with our hats.
We did our hats.
And now Britain obviously would love these two to be expecting their own little one. So we will be keeping our eyes peeled for a little British royalty member to enter. It would be very nice.
You know it's happening soon.
I think it will.
It's going to happen soon.
I think it will. Okay, I have to ask you a question. Do you read labels, you know, when you buy food?
I tend to pick up and just kind of look at the nutrition facts and stuff before I buy it, and try to buy healthier. You know, sometimes I see it and I'm like, I'm just going to ignore the label on this one. But
well, I mean, it's important because apparently it's paying off to read the labels. A California mother bought this, served it to her children, then read the label. Apparently, Nutella, I love to say Nutella, has the nutritional value of a candy bar. Yes, indeed. And filed a class action lawsuit disputing the hazelnut breakfast spread's wholesome image. Because you know those commercials, they advertise it like it's a healthy meal.
Right.
Yeah.
They do, but apparently it's not. They're not including this mom. Nutella is paying $3 million to get itself out of this sticky situation. So if you've bought Nutella between 2008 and now, you can get your $4 back. Consumers have until July 5th to make their claims. You know, that's just a little bit of money in our pocket.
Yeah.
But they're dishing out a lot to get all that money back to everyone who's unhappy
Hey,
with it.
$4 will buy a pack of gum these days. That's really bad.
Half a gallon of gas.
Yeah. Nutella makers have agreed to modify certain marketing statements about Nutella and to give more prominence to nutritional information on the Nutella labels. So I love to get frozen berries, like, you know, strawberries, blueberries, cranberries, whatever, and get Nutella and spread it on them, like on this fruit, and eat it like a dessert. I thought I was being healthy, clearly not.
Well, I mean, it still is. It's healthier than some of the other options that are out there, I think.
Yeah.
Maybe it's not the healthiest.
Not the healthiest.
It's better than some things.
Wait, and before you get to weather, I just want to say, you know, we complain about gas prices. You just said gas. In California, regular gas, pretty much everywhere I looked, started at about $4.25. So we're lucky in New Mexico, let me tell you. $4.25 for regular a gallon. Yeah, we're lucky.
You shouldn't be out in your cars out and about today. You should be walking or biking because the weather is going to be so nice. You can save a little bit of gas money maybe today as you get out and about.